and welcome to Lock Haven's A Senior Moment. We are here at Lock Haven. We are at our Tribute to Veterans, which we hold every June, and we hold it along with our annual ice cream social. We make the night very special so that we can honor all of our veterans who live here at Lock Haven, but also all of our veterans who live in the community of Macon and the surrounding areas. We've invited just everyone to come. We have a lot of special guests that make the night very, very special for our veterans. And so we would like to take this time to meet a few, and then we will also be filming the whole ceremony that we are having for our veterans to honor them. Thank you. We have Bill and Wanda Burnett. They are here tonight. They are going to be posting the colors for us and with the American Legion here in Macon. Bill, why is a night like this so important?
I think it's so important because they're honoring the veterans, and without the veterans, they wouldn't have this tonight or any occasion. And I think the veterans are one that's going to be put by the wayside. They seem like they keep wanting to cut all of their funds, and we have so many veterans now that's coming back that are disabled and physically and mentally, that they need attention. And our boys that come home, why we need to take care of them. And we have several around here that, our World War II guys would like to say that we're losing them faster than we like to, and we have several around here, and that's one of those that we should look up to and find out, get their experience in the wars, that what they went through, if they'll talk about it. Okay.
Wanda, do you have a part in all of this? How do you have help with the American Legion? And I know you're good moral support along the way.
I'm president of the American Legion Auxiliary, which supports our men through financial and helping them do their projects and do our own to support them and the men and ladies in the nursing homes.
Yeah. Wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us, and enjoy the program and the ice cream social on this hot night. Well, Bill Lear is a familiar face, in the community, but also here for this annual event. Bill, thank you so much. You guys always come out here and share your talents on this special night. You have your special shirt on tonight. Why do you like to do this, whether it's the veterans events, the ice cream socials? You're such a wonderful volunteer in the community.
Oh, we always look forward to coming out, and we like to play music, of course, and then we enjoy playing for the residents here and everywhere, and it's a special day, 4th of July, and veterans. We don't thank the veterans enough, so anything that we can do to help out, that's what we like to do. So.
Okay. We're looking forward to your music, Bill. We'll be listening to a little bit of it, so thanks a lot.
All right. Well, thank you.
Doug Yearns is with me. Doug is with the Patriot Guard Riders, and anytime I call Doug, send him a message and just say, can you do it? His answer is always yes. And I just know that your mission and the mission of your group is to do whatever you can for the veterans. Talk about that just a bit, Doug.
Okay, we're about the veterans, and anytime you see the Patriot Guard, we're doing something for the veterans. It's about the veterans because they're the ones that give the sacrifice and for us and our freedom so that we can do what we do today. That's the reason we can ride our bikes on the nice days,
That's right. And Doug, if someone wants you to come for an event that they are having, or I know you do a lot of you do your flag lines for funerals in honor of fallen veterans and other service organizations. Tell us about that. Do they need to request? How does that happen?
They can go to patriotguard.org online, and there'll be a place to request a mission. And it's not just for veterans, it's also for anybody who serves us, as in firefighters, first responders, EMTs, all that. Or most everybody knows somebody that is a member of the Patriot Guard or has a friend, so word of mouth, and we always get the word. And the local funeral homes, they all have my number too.
It's just awesome when you go by somewhere where the Patriot Guard is there with their flag line, and standing in honor of a fallen soldier or a fallen, like you say, service person. So it's just wonderful what you do. We thank you for that service yourself, Doug, and for the group that rides with you.
It's an honor for all of us.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'd like to introduce you to Terry Cachette. Terry is, I would say, first of all, a good friend of mine. We've known each other for several years. Terry works at KRLI, or KMZU, as we know. He has a very popular program on what we call Curly Country. What are those numbers, Terry?
103.9.
103.9. It is called Focus on Veterans. Is that correct?
That's right. Focus on veterans.
Terry, you yourself are a veteran. You served, we're going to introduce you here and kind of read that, but you served in a couple of different, what do you call it? Tell us exactly what you did.
Well, I was in the Army. I was a military policeman. In the 8.5 years I was in, I served in Honduras, 3 tours in Korea, several posts around the United States, and then wrapped it up with Desert Storm and Desert Shield.
Okay, so quite an impressive record of what you have done in the past. And I just know you and you're promoting of veterans, promoting programs for veterans, making sure veterans are recognized, veterans are taken care of is near and dear to your heart. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I think it started some years ago. I was invited out to the schools to do a program on Veterans Day. And when I asked the children what a veteran was, I got back, well, those are the folks that take care of our animals. And so I thought, well, we got some work to do here. So ever since then, I've been going out to schools, talking on Veterans Day, doing flag education and things like that. And I had the opportunity to do this show. The station owner was very, very gracious and giving me the time to do this, and it's just kind of grown from there.
Right. Tell us when it airs so people can tune in.
It's Monday through Friday on Curly Country 103.9. In the morning, it's around 8:50, and 12:20 in the noon hour, and then about 5:20 in the afternoon.
That's great. So for you guys who have been listening to it, now you can put a face with that voice. Terry's such a great guy, great friend, and I'm so glad that you're here tonight. He's going to be our speaker tonight and recognize our veterans as well. So thank you so much, Terry. We'll look forward to hear what you have to say.
You're welcome, Mary Beth. I appreciate the opportunity.
George Anderson. And I will say too, Bruno was in the Army, branch of the Army. George was Navy. I'll go ahead and read the names, and Katie and Cameron will catch up as we go along. Next is Vernon Barrow, Air Force. Harold Bond, Marines. Y'all can lift up your hands and so we can recognize you as you come to them. Jay Evans, Bio, Army. Jimmy Burkhart, Air Force. Raymond Buster, Army. Wayne Creed, Air Force. James Davis, Air Force. Walter Davis, Army. Ed Douglas, Army, Navy. Kelly Douglas, Marine. Arthur Eyman, who's in the hospital this evening, is Army Air Force. Finest Fox, Air Force. Thomas Baylor, Army. Irvin Gates, Army. John Gahn, Army. Carla Harrell, Army. Tom Linhart, Air Force. John Love, Air Force. Hubert Moley, Army. George Morgan, Army. Patrick O'Toole, Army. Jack Patton, Army. Warren Flynn, Navy. Ralph Schmedeke, Army. Jared Simons, Army. Robert Smith, Army. Harold Spencer, Navy. Donald Swanson, Army. Arnold Truitt, Army. Johnny Walker, Army. Madison Walker, Army. Carl White, Army. Bernard Blum, Air Force. Donald Zappa, Army. And we did have one of our veterans who passed yesterday, Ed Osmuth. He was in the Navy. We want to recognize him. And we have two that got to leave us and go back to their homes this week, and we want to recognize them, Leon Newt and Don Lennon. So if you would join me in giving these fine veterans a round of applause. I want to thank each and every one of you veterans for all you've done for our country and to provide us, or given us the sacrifices of your time and your families went through so we can have the many freedoms that we have in our country. I also want to ask at this time for any veterans who are in the crowd, if you would like to stand and so we can recognize you and applaud you for your service as well. At this time, I'd also like to recognize the Patriot Guard who came out and put the flag lines up for us this evening. So let's give them a round of applause. And I'd also like to recognize Linda Maddox. Linda, can you raise your hand? There's Linda over here. Linda is with, she's going to be passing out, I think, some items this evening. So you can, I don't know, you're just going to mingle, I think, if you want to come up and you have questions or see what she's doing. Okay. All right. Thanks for coming, Linda. Go ahead and introduce the speaker to you. His name is Terry Pichette. He served in the U.S. Army from 1983 to 1991 as a military policeman. He served 3 tours in Korea, 1 in Honduras, and deployed to the Persian Gulf in support of Operation Desert Shield and Desert Storm. Terry is now a marketing manager with KMZ View, KRLI in Carrollton. He is a veterans advocate with a daily program on KRLI Country 103.9 called Focus on Veterans. So at this time, if you welcome Terry, come on up.
Everybody hear me? All right. Well, you know, when I was invited, I was really pleased. I was invited to come out here and talk to my fellow veterans because I consider it a great honor and privilege to be considered among your ranks. I kind of struggled with what I was going to talk about. Now, Mary Beth told me, you know, about 3 weeks ago, I had to have this practice, but I wanted to narrow it down, so I think I got it narrowed down to 2 topics. And first of all, you know, it comes down to, I want to teach, and I want us to teach our young folks about what we did and what we do. And I'll give you an example. Years ago, I was invited to talk at a third grade class on Veterans Day. And so when I got there, I got the kids assembled, and I said, okay, does anybody know what day it is? And of course, they knew it was Veterans Day. And I said, okay, who can tell me what a veteran is? And a little boy raised his hand. He said, well, those are the folks that take care of our animals. I said, okay, we got some work to do. Some years later, I got to speak at a fifth grade class. And by this time, I had a PowerPoint presentation. So I put a picture of Audie Murphy up on the bulletin, up on the board. And I said, who can tell me who this is? The most response I got was Elvis. I even had a couple of teachers that didn't know who it was. So my point is that we veterans, we have a lot to share with our younger folks. They need to hear what we have to say. There's all kinds of organizations, all kinds of things going on out there that will take.
Get closer to the microphone.
Can you hear me? How's it? Is that better? I'm sorry. Oh, that'll work. All right. Well, the first time I was asked to speak when I got out of the service was at my local church. And I didn't know to temper my voice. I was still using my NCO voice. And I think I put the fear of God into some of the folks in the church, and I didn't need to. So I've learned to kind of taper it down a little bit. But anyway, one of the things I really believe we need to do is to educate and teach our young folks. You know, one of the things I do is flag education. And I talk about that a lot on my show. And I think I get most of my response so far about what we teach about flag education. You would be surprised at how many folks want to know, they want to know to fly the flag correctly, what you can and can't do. They just don't know. And so that's one of the things I do, is try to help them with that. You know the old saying that freedom isn't free. There's a cost to it. All of you veterans out there, whether you served in wartime or peacetime, overseas or here, you have a story to tell. I've got a story to tell. You've got a story to tell. Let's don't keep it. Let's share it. Let our folks know what we did. That's how they know. That's our history. And that's one of the things that I always stress. We need to let folks know what we've done. You know, a sad note on that is I belong to an association of military police. And some years ago, one of our retired first sergeants had a foot locker full of his memorabilia, photos, all kinds of things that he did in service. He was going to donate that to our organization. Before he got it to us, he passed away. His family didn't know what it was. They took it out on the curb and it got thrown away. Years of that man's service and memories have gone forever. We need to share what we know. Sadly, you know, what I do is just, I'm not an expert. I'm a veterans advocate. What I do is point folks in the right direction. We have, through all the social media, radio, all the things that we have at our disposal, it amazes me how many of our veterans still don't know what they qualify for. And that's why we have our American Legion, our VFW, our DAV, the VA, even my radio show. The second thing I want to do is I want us to work together as a team. You know, this month is PTSD Awareness Month. And all month I've been stressing the fact that we're not alone. Nobody's alone. We have a team. The team is built into us. When we were in the service, it was instilled in us. And my thing is, why is that changed? It is still the same thing. We're not in the service, but we still have a great network, fellow veterans, family, co-workers, friends. And so, given that concept, I would like for us to think of us as one large team. And we can work together to help each other. If we don't know a veteran's benefit, we can find out really quick. And we can get the word out. Like I said, there's local codes, VFW, American Legion, DAV, there's all kinds. You've got my show, you've got social media. Facebook is huge with all kinds of veterans that VA. We just need to help get the word out. You know, I could go on with some more war stories because, like I said, I love this kind of venue. My wife and my daughters have heard all my war stories, so any chance I get to go talk to other folks, I'll do it. But in the meantime, to wrap it up, those are my two goals, is to teach our young folks, our children, and then to just get this team concept going, that we're not alone. We've got a huge team when you think about it, that we can all work together and get this information out to each other. And I want to thank Byron and Mary Beth for allowing me to come out and speak to you during this evening. Thank you very much.
I think with the weather coming in, we're going to need to wrap it on up and move inside before we get too far along with the thunder and lightning here. I want to thank Terry Pachat again for visiting with us. At this time, I wanted to say again, Linda Maddox is going to be around, and she has some gifts for the veterans. And we'll get to her tomorrow with the weather, so she'll be back.
Thank you again for joining us. We want to wish everyone a wonderful July and Independence Day, and just every day. We like to think as Independence Day, especially because of all of our heroes who have served in the armed services. We thank all of them. Again, for those who live here at Lock Haven, we have about 37 veterans who live here. We want to thank them especially. We want to thank all of those in the community and all that are watching this program. Thank you so much for your service. We will see you the next time that we have a senior moment.